Hello, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Nincompoops podcast. It's me, Paul, along with my best friends here, Dean and Jim. Hello,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hello.
Best friends?
best friends, the bestest of friends, one would say.
Who allowed you to call us your best friends? We're your
Is that
brothers.
oh? Is that not accurate?
We're your bros, man. What's up with that?
Bros?
Yeah, where you
Yeah,
home?
we're your bros.
Is what? Which one would you think is like closer, like bros or like best friends?
Bros.
Bros.
You're more than friends, you're family.
Yeah,
Ah,
bros.
yes. Vin Diesel would be proud.
Da, 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 da. Alright. And speaking of family, welcome back, Nick Boots viewers. It's been a while, 7 days. But we back with episode 54 now, I think it is.
It is
Oh wow.
54.
Yeah, yeah. We don't know how many episodes are left, but I think we're all more than halfway. It looks like so.
I
Enjoy
mean,
us.
well,
We back.
we passed the big old 5-0, so I think we're good run indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We may not. This may not be the same amount of people as back then, but we survived.
I think anyone who's like been listening so far is just kind of to come to accept that it's just going to be just the three of us.
Yeah,
So it's all good. It's all fine. We've all come to like fall into this like the schedule, this routine of just three people now.
They're like,
yeah. But you know what else is fine? You guys, you listening right now, you're you're fine. Okay.
Or cute girls or in betweens. It don't matter. You're all cute. You're all cutie patooties. All you listeners.
You're all my cute little potato spuds.
Indeed.
But yeah, now that we're on 54, we have not had the great debate yet.
Hmm?
The great debate.
Between who?
Cat girls versus dog girls. Which one's better? Ooh.
I've never seen like any dog girls in anime. I've seen like fox girls or like wolf girls, but not dog girls.
yeah, I don't think dog girls are popular.
Is that a thing? You think that would be a thing? Because dogs are like themselves are pretty
I mean,
popular.
it's usually people put like
Dog girl.
fox and wolf girls under the umbrella of dog girl. Obviously, they're for different animals, in reality, but it's like the whole canine theme that is the point.
I'm legit looking up dog girls on anime, and the only one that like comes to mind that I recognize is just that VTuber. That's a dog girl, I think.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. I usually
Oh.
I usually see like cat girls or like fox and wolf girls instead.
I actually know zero VTubers outside of our one VTube guest, JC, who was on like a long time ago.
Wow.
But yeah, the whole VTube scene is like I know nothing about it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought you'd know a little bit more about that.
no, like I think there's some VTube characters that play a character, but and then some don't. That's about it. Like I don't even know what they usually do. I mean, I guess they play video games and stuff, but they playing like as a character or as themselves. I don't really know, but yeah, I'm sure you
It's probably
two
like
you two
the
are more
column A and B. Yeah.
you two are more into the scene than I am because I haven't really gone into that world. So yeah,
Indeed. Look,
Yeah.
I didn't ask to go into this world. This world just popped up
It's
in
a
my
rabbit
YouTube
hole.
recommendations. It just happens,
It's the
and then you're like,
rabbit hole.
and it's just the algorithm that just sucks you in and just happens, and you're like, you just think to yourself, what is this? And you just click it, and then it just happens.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
you guys watch VTubers regularly? Like I'm not passing judgment or anything. I'm just wondering if that's in like your content cycle.
Right now, like around 2020, like around this time 2020, I was like almost every day
Mm.
because I barely like found this new thing. Then now it's like sometimes.
Yeah, VTubing got really big during 2020.
Yeah.
and then it's
Yeah,
just like
is it not as big now?
it's not as big now. I wouldn't say it's dying out, but it's definitely not the height of popularity or that novelty as it was like last year.
Yeah, I agree.
You still regularly watch or nah?
I just watch like 1 minute YouTube clips of
Yeah,
VTubers.
I just watch clips.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I don't have the attention span to like watch like really long videos unless it's one that I'm really interested in, and I usually just like watch it while I'm like on my phone while I'm eating like dinner or lunch. Other than that, I'm just like
Yeah.
on my computer. I'm just like watching politics or just listening to music or also watching those clips.
Yeah, same
I
here.
see.
Mm-hmm.
What content do you guys watch on YouTube usually? Because I know we all use YouTube quite a
Yep.
bit, but
Yep.
but for obviously very different reasons. Yeah. What do you guys watch on YouTube usually? Because I know you guys spend a lot of time on it too.
All right, time to bust open the YouTube and just like let's just go into like our home
Mine's kinda
screen,
everywhere,
the
man.
recommendations.
Mine has like video games, VTubers, some cooking, some music also. Yeah.
Yeah, if I were to pop open my subscriptions, it'd just be like politics, games. Uh, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for my subscriptions. If I open up my recommendation or my home screen, all right. So this is what I see right now. I see 11-second video of anime girl in the pool, and the title of the video is called "Pata Pata Pata Pata." All right, and then the second video, well, this is from Hassan and Abi. It's about 30 minutes. So, third video, I see like, bear sits next to guy for about a minute and a half. Next one is like Ace Combat, Combat Infinity soundtrack, and then I see bird photo bombs meteorologist. Then I see Munchin the duck is angry until she gets an ice water. So I'm just getting random animal videos all of a sudden for some reason. I think that just started happening today though. I don't know why the animal videos popped up. What did I watch?
Videos of wolf girls.
No, not even that. All right, I clicked one video. I think that goose game. You guys remember that goose game?
Untitled Goose Game or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just popped up. It's not even like a real goose. It's not even a real animal. It's just the video is called like honk if Thatcher is dead. Margaret Thatcher and all that. And then I get a video about Russia and versus USA doing push-ups, and then I click a video about with a Russian title and a man feeding a snow bear or a polar bear. Now, just that one video not being animal videos on my recommendation for some reason. Hummingbird Pool Party number 5. Wow, what the fuck? What happened to 1, 2, and 3 and 4? What? I'm just I'm just looking at my recommendations and seeing what I'm getting. I'm just getting a Hummingbird Pool Party. It's just titled Hummingbird Pool Party number 5. That's the title. And I go into the channel. There's no 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's just number 5. It just starts off at 5. Now I'm just getting bear attacks and cat slaps the seal. All right, my YouTube recommendations is all over. Oh, it's a monkey! I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted. There's like a bunch of stuff on my recommendation right now. It's just stuff that just pops up. I click on one video and then I go into a rabbit hole. My recommendations just become that entire thing for the rest of the day, and then it resets or something. So yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Yeah. As for me, my YouTube, I ever since I got into politics, I've been on YouTube a lot more because before politics, there was like I would just jump on and watch a few things here and there, but mostly like played more games than did watch stuff or listen to stuff more accurately.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of what I consume, I'm looking at my whole page now is politics, a little bit of League highlights and a little bit of animal videos too, because I got a cat recently. I've been trying to learn how to fucking take care of that shit,
Yeah.
and
You got a cat?
When they're babies.
yeah, yeah. I got a kin like 2 weeks ago.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
It's about 2 weeks.
tomorrow will make it 2 weeks.
Did you bring this up before?
Yeah. Oh, off.
Off stream, yeah.
Yeah, off
Oh,
stream.
Mm. But even
yeah,
off stream, I don't remember this. This is like news to me.
yeah.
Cause sometimes I hear you like on Discord whenever we're just like chilling, and you're just like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, that's the.
And that's like, it sounds like he's just talking to like a pet or something. But I don't think he has a pet. Maybe just talking to like his younger brother or something.
No,
What are
yeah.
you doing, bro?
So yeah,
What are you doing?
I got a kin 2 weeks ago. It's about to turn 2 months in a few days. It's
Wow.
a youngin, and yeah, we got it from my sister's boyfriend has a cat, and the cat had a litter, and they're trying to give out the babies, and
Yeah.
my mom heard about him, and she wanted one, and
Really?
and then she mentioned it. She's like, "Hey, you guys want a cat?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm down because I've always wanted a pet since I was younger, but my stepdad didn't let us because he thought we would not take care of it, so we just never had a pet. But I think the real reason was he just doesn't like having pets because my sister wants a cat because she lives with him now because he doesn't live with us anymore,
Uh,
and he wouldn't let her take one home for herself. So, but yeah, they needed people to take one, and I was like, fuck it, we'll take one, and then we got one like a month after they told us because when they were having litter, obviously the kids were too young to kind of get out of there, so
that
yeah.
reminds me. That reminds me of that meme you see of dad top picture doesn't want to get a pet or a dog or a cat. Bottom picture, you just see them just hang out and him and the cat just chilling out on the couch together, just like drinking a beer.
Yeah, so
So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't against it. It's just that I'm more of a dog person, so like if it was like a litter of puppies, I would have been way more excited about it. But
Mm,
cats are cool too. They're chill. It's just that they're not as friendly, which is the thing I value more in a pet.
mm.
But yeah, the cat I got's pretty friendly though, so that's not too bad.
That's
And
dope.
and we've had it for 2 weeks, and it's kind of an asshole sometimes because it likes to bite things, like
Yeah.
especially wires, and that's really annoying because I have computer wires all over my desk, and it
Mm.
just it likes to get tangled up in it, and they like and likes to bite it and shit. But I'm trying to teach it not to do it. Yeah, overall it's been a good experience, even if its shit smells fucking terrible.
Mm.
Like I'm in my living room, on my computer, and it's like pooping in the bathroom in the litter box, and then like
I was
I
about to
know
say,
when it's I know when
where
it
else are you
poops.
supposed to poo? Where else are you supposed to poo?
Like I know when it poops because the smell comes to me like instantly. I'm just like, oh god,
Instantly.
yeah.
No.
It's very strong. But still, it's still a small cat, so it's not pooping that much, or the size of it isn't that big. But as it's getting bigger, it's pooping more, and then the poops are getting bigger, so the smell is getting stronger and stronger with time.
yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, how does Cloud poop?
Huh?
How does Cloud poop?
Uh, on the grass.
On the grass?
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of cloud pooping, the park is open over there, so that's where he poos now.
The park.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's like a park near where you guys live.
Yeah, it's open now.
Mmm.
It's built like a track and has like those little workout stations thing.
Yeah.
And I've been doing. They have like a pull-up bar, and I've been doing pull-ups every time we pass like a lap.
Ooh. How many can you do right now?
I can do 2. I'm proud of myself.
Hey, there we go.
When it first opened, I could barely do 1. I was like, oh man, I am so out of shape. Like, I felt it on my chest and my arms, and I was just like, yeah, we need to like, I'm gonna start like every time we go here with Cloud. Every time I walk Cloud, I'm gonna go there tie Cloud up, and then I'm gonna do like how many pull-ups I can do, and then untie him, and then continue our walk.
Wait, you said you felt it on your chest?
Yeah, I felt it on my chest, like my chest muscles when I
Out of. I didn't know
pulled
you.
up.
I mean, you kind of use your chest, but I don't
Yeah,
normally feel.
That's how out of shape I was. I was just like, oh.
Cause normally you use your back for like
Yeah.
pull-ups.
I felt it like chest, arms, and back, and I was just like, yikes.
Oof.
That's not good. But it's a really nice park. Like around this time, there's people playing basketball. There's like a small field for soccer too.
Ooh. Jimmy could duck on them kids.
True.
Yeah.
Them suburban kids.
Even better.
It's been nice.
You guys are getting that garage gym set up.
Yeah, once we like actually clear out the garage, then we'll set.
Yeah, I think I saw like Ron's like a little Instagram story thing on that.
He was deadlifting, I think.
Is he not like traveling to? He's not going to the gym anymore. Is he just doing it at home now?
I'm not.
Well,
sure.
he's there at least. Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but I think if he's here and at home, then yeah, he's just working out here.
That's the laziness and the intelligence have finally came through.
Yeah.
The man said here, like, I will drive an hour back to San Jose. back to.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the city and go to the gym to work out. And and just drive like an hour back home. To work out.
This is a sustainable thing to do, you know.
Indeed.
Yeah, I get you. It's like one of those things that's like if it's like for school and you do what you have to, but when it comes to the gym, you can't really. Like the excuse isn't there as much, you know. Like the convenience kind of takes over when it's something you don't really have to do for the long term. But yeah.
Yep.
I would understand if he was like coming home from school.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be like, oh, it's right there.
Is he going to school right now? By the way,
he's not going to school.
I doubt it.
What exactly? I mean, we can talk about his off stream, I guess, but I just don't understand what he's doing. Like, what his plans are, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk about the off stream.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Something I tried doing. I also tried doing pull-ups recently, and then it's a lot harder. Because not only are my muscles not as strong, but you know, I weigh more, so like. It's a multiplying factor as compared to the last time I tried to do it, you know, or the last time I did it regularly at least, or well, I never was good at pull-ups, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Pull-ups are fucking hard. Like it's just one of those things I just never figured out in life. I figured out push-ups, sit-ups, with pull-ups. Like even when I was like relatively fit, I just could not do many because I just didn't understand. I don't know. Maybe because there was no one ever to teach me, but. Whenever I just go in the bar and I try to pull myself up, I'm just like, and I go down. I'm like, how do I get back up? Like I have the strength, but I just don't understand. Like, is there like a method I'm supposed to do? Like, so yeah.
There's like little things you can do to make pull-ups a little bit easier, and that's what I've been having to like rewatch videos on that recently because I remember telling you guys like, oh yeah, I could do 23, I could do 24 pull-ups. Easy now. And ever since I did like my second PFT, we had a staff sergeant there who was counting my pull-ups. He was like very strict on the form. And so once I got to like around 16, and he said like go out all the way, lock your arms more. Or he wouldn't count pull-ups. So I'm like, fuck, why are you doing this to me? I could do 20 at least. But then I just couldn't.
Like,
so
every time you pull up, he's just like 16, and then you go down and you pull up again 16, and you're just like, fuck.
Like fuck you, dude. Come on,
16.
I hated those
Feel
guys.
like deja vu.
Yeah, my captain was like standing nearby, And then we talked about it afterwards. He's like, "Yeah, I kind of saw the staff started harassing you." I'll put
Mine is
20.
against
I
officers.
counted you last time. You did 20 last time, so I'm gonna just put that on your sheet. I'm like, thanks, cat. Thanks, sir. But ever since then, I've just been having problems doing pull-ups again. I don't know if it's like, oh, I got to my head, or maybe I'm just more strict on my form. I think it's because I'm more strict on my form. But now I'm just I'm sitting around like around 17 to 18 pull-ups before I get really tired. I just like I have to drop, or like 19 or 20 if I really push it. But yeah, pull-ups are not fun. It's it's something where if you I do like forward grip with what I do about like shoulder width, and what I learned recently from a video is that don't a lot of people like to cross their legs while doing pull-ups for some reason. That doesn't really add anything. But what I would suggest is like just like keeping your feet together, your legs together, and like using your core, just like squeezing your abdominals, just so there's like a lot of excess energy doesn't leak through the bottom, and then that energy just goes back up when you're doing like the pull-ups, and just like keep up like good form, and then the most of the focus should be on like your back, is your back muscles should be like helping you through with your pull-ups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the main thing, and just do them consistently. Just keep doing them, because like I think most people have a hard time doing like 1 to 2 pull-ups, and I think that's most people. But if you just do it consistently, like get a pull-up bar and just like use it every time you walk by it, then you should be good to go eventually over time.
I gotcha.
Yep.
When it
There's
comes
something.
to pull-ups, though, I do get it's easier if you do it like with the forward grip rather than the reverse grip, but I don't. I
Well,
don't
that depends. I think the reverse grip, you're using more your arms, so like your biceps. I think.
right, but
Yeah.
I don't get like I don't get the whole like attitude. I'm not saying that a lot of people do this, but I do notice that there's like this reaction where like if you do like the reverse grip, they're like, oh, you're not doing a real pull up, but it's like you are pulling yourself up though, right? Like it may be an easier thing to do, but that's what you're effectively doing. Like you can say it's easier than doing the other way, but it doesn't.
They're calling it like a chin up.
Yeah. But I don't
Yeah.
understand that because
I don't know if it's an actual attitude, or they're just like, oh, semantics, and just like, oh, it's the proper term is chin up when you're doing reverse grip, and the proper term is pull up, and then they push up their glasses. I don't think you're talking about that, but I don't know if there's that big
I think
of.
those guys are just being a dick.
I think those are
yeah,
just people being dicks. I haven't run into very many of them or at all. It's just one of those things I just hear about on the internet, but
it just kind of seems like gatekeeping from like imagine you're like fuck I'm gonna work on myself, I need to get more fit, and then they do it the reverse style because maybe that's all they can do, right? And it's like someone comes up to them and they're like, well shit, that's not you're not really doing it right, you're supposed to do it the other way around, what you're doing is not pull up, and then like what does that how does that help that person want to get better at it, just like you just putting them down.
again, I've never really experienced or really seen people like that, because I do both chin ups and pull ups, depending if I'm working out on my back that day or working on my arms. I think what I mostly see though is like people get more upset whether or not you go all the way down or not, lock out your arms and then go up. It's just like more like how far you extend your arms is what I mostly see people have a problem with, but I don't see anyone have issues with chin ups or pull ups. Personally.
Well, not that I would know because I don't do pull-ups. So, I'm not speaking from experience, but I have seen this attitude where it's like people are like trying to, like gatekeep certain fucking aspects of fitness. It's like, like fitness for a lot of people, it's something that I know that everyone should do, but no, some people don't do. And then if someone's trying to get into it, I feel like having like a gatekeeping attitude just kind of like does the opposite of what you want them to do. I guess like if you want them to do it the right way, if you just being like, hey, that's not the real way. It just seems like a really shitty attitude to have to someone that's trying to trying to get better at it. You know.
Probably that. I mean, I think that definitely did exist. I don't know if it's still much of a thing now. I think personally, I think over time, people have become more accepting of people wanting to better themselves and get more fit,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
like get healthier and all that. I think probably back then, like during like the 2000s and before, like even like after like early 2010s, like people were like still gatekeeping. People were like, oh, look at this schmuck right here. He can't even do a proper pull up. Look at him. I think and this is, I don't even know if this is true or not, but I think more people are just more accepting or just like more willing to like, hey, you want to get fit? Go for it. That or maybe just like my Instagram just like feed just like all of a sudden ever since you showed me or had me follow that one buff girl on Instagram, you know who I'm talking about. ever since her, my Instagram feed has just been like popping up with just like a bunch of like workout stuff, and just like, well, usually my Instagram feed used to just be like, oh, hey, some cute girls, and now all of it's just like, hey, now here's a bunch of buff guys just doing workouts and stuff. I'm like,
Sucks
you know what?
Because mine said like, here are the buff girls that you've been asking for. And I'm like, yes,
Just-
yes.
I get some buff girls, but like for every one buff girl I get like 9 buff guys.
Right.
I'm just like, they're like, hey, good job, dude. Go out to the gym. Work. Have a good Labor Day and all that. I'm like, all right, thanks, Mr. Instagram man. And then I go to the gym.
Get
So, yeah.
motivated, baby.
It gets me motivated nonetheless.
Speaking of buff dudes, you know what I find really unattractive? Like bodybuilders. Have you seen some of the bodies of bodybuilders?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
pop
It's like-
with like abs.
Yeah, like the abs feel like they're like injected with some shit, and then like it feels like the muscle, like they're like you know, like Dave Bautista buff back in his prime, but then like on top of that, it's like multiplied beyond that to a point where it's like almost comically too big. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that looks very unattractive. I know why they do it. It's because it's like it's not because of fitness or anything. They do it because they're like, this is what I want to do for a living. You know, it's like
It's a dream of
competition thing.
theirs.
It's like
Yeah, but it doesn't
art.
look very good to me.
Nah, I agree. I don't really like the look of it, but I again, that's not most people, so it's not really an issue for me. So I'm like, you do you, friend.
Right, but yeah, so it looks it's like they're not even fucking human anymore. You know, it's like the protein monster and fucking was that thing? Fuck, was that series you watched, Dean, on Netflix? Sweet Home.
Sweet Home. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like the protein.
Alabama.
They look like the protein monster in that show. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bit much.
They
It's-
take a lot of protein, just and some other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know about the rules for like the old Mr. Olympian thing. I think that's the term, or whatever it's
Bodybuilding.
called. The bodybuilding thing, yeah. Whatever that competition is. Like, hey, they're looking at them. They're most likely taking steroids or some kind of enhancement or something. But hey,
Yeah.
I know there's a whole thing against like, hey, don't take steroids. All right, it's cheating. It's bad. It's bad for you. I'm like, look, if they really want to take it, if they really want to do it, like, yeah,
No one's gonna stop.
yeah, you go for it, dude. Knock yourself out. Go ahead. If you want to look like a big buff man that looks really like a giant buff ass brownie, go for it.
Yeah.
I ain't going to stop you. You do you, friend. It looks whack. It looks funny, but hey, if it makes you happy, hey, it ain't hurting no one. I'm pretty sure like everyone in that competition is taking it too, so it's whatever.
What I'm most concerned about is just like I'm not saying it will affect every guy, but I think the negative aspect of that though is just how it impacts the minds of young boys, where it's like, oh, this is what I should look like, you know? Because there's like a psychology thing where where the level of buff a guy thinks is attractive is like way different from what like a girl finds attractive. So like when guys are like, I want to look good for the women, and then they look at The Rock, they're like, I must become that. And it's just like, well, you're setting not only like an incredibly unrealistic goal, but it's also like not really healthy to look at The Rock or look at like a bodybuilder and be like, okay, this will make me look good. This is what I want to become,
Yeah,
and I think that's the aspect I think is not good.
Yeah, but then if they look up like The Rock's like workout routine and or eating routine, I think they'll probably learn pretty fast. Like, yeah, this ain't sustainable. Because I
Yeah,
think eat like something
that
crazy.
leaves a lot of like body dysmorphia though, right? Because then they're like, oh man, I can't look like The Rock. This is too much.
The Rock
I'm not good
calories.
enough to be like The Rock.
How many calories does Dwayne The Rock Johnson eat per day?
Probably like
Well,
5,000 or some shit.
it says The Rock more or less consumes anywhere between like 4,000 and 6,000 calories per day.
Oh wow, I was like overestimating, and I was right, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a shit ton.
That's
But,
still a lot. That's still a lot though.
That is
Yeah. But
I eat around like 2,000. So that's like 100 to 150 times mine, or more. I can't do math. At least 100 times more.
It's at least 100 times more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not 100 times more. 100% times more.
yeah.
Yeah.
More. Yeah. Just double it. Double it.
Yeah. It's just like I think it just leads to like a lot of negative like body type ideals for guys. Just like how like back in the 2000s, like the ideal body type for women were like the super skinny, like gap between the legs type of girls, and then that led to a lot of girls doing things like bulimia or that's like another thing.
Anorexia.
Anorexia, there you go. And then with bulimia, they would like literally like throw up their food anytime they eat, so they don't like keep in their bodies, and that's a lot of issues, So I think there should be like, even though like people are free to do with their bodies how they will, I think we shouldn't hold up certain body types like, hey, this is the ideal body, and then this is what you should become, because that leads to bad outcomes.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Not potentially, like it happens,
Yeah, I mean it happens, but at the same time, it's potential because like it doesn't happen to everyone. Like it potentially could happen.
But across the general population,
I think this is semantics, Jim.
No, I think you're just misunderstanding, but it's okay.
I mean, it's true, but at the same time, I'm not really against like people wanting to get more fit or having like a better body type.
But I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, hey, this is what, it sets a standard of what they want to be, and then that can lead them to have negative outcomes because they're like, hey, I want to live up to this, and when they find out they can't, they experience like a lot of negative effects from that, like depression, body dysmorphia, or whatever else,
Yeah, again, that's why I say potentially, because like it can lead to like negative outcomes, but it can also lead to like a lot of positive outcomes too, and that sometimes it don't work out for some people, and for some others it works out like really well, and they're like really happy with what they got.
Yeah, but then the negative in that instance would outweigh the positives, right? So just because some people are fit doesn't mean it's good for like a larger proportion to be unfit, right?
What do you mean by that?
Or like being like, hey, you should look like Dwayne Johnson. That might work for some people, but for far more people, they would try to emulate that and then fail, and then they would feel negative effects from that, So that would be more negative overall, right?
Maybe potentially, but I still think the positives outweigh the negatives. Personally, in my opinion.
But if more people are affected by it negatively, wouldn't it still be more negative overall? Because that is what happens, Like for every one person that ends up being successful, there's like 5 people who fail and they don't live up to what they want to be, and then
then I just say try again, go for it. Just like don't let it get you down. Just like pick yourself up and try again.
That's not what happens though. They don't just be like, oh, whoops, try again. They literally express negative mental illnesses like body dysmorphia and depression, though.
Yeah, but couldn't you just
That's
like
not-
can't you apply that for like everything
That's
though
not
in whatever skill?
that's not how mental health works, man. It's just like just because people fail does not mean like, oh well, just try again, because stuff like this has consequences, man. What the heck?
Yeah, but yeah, again, you could apply that for everything, like whatever like goals and whatever things you want to go out for, and then you end up failing. You could always could always just
It
like
depends on what goals you set. If your goal is Dwayne
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson, it's not as productive compared.
Look, I don't think most people are going for Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I don't think that's like 90% of people. I think most people look at The Rock and it's like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I think most people just like, I just at least want to have a six pack. I just at least want to look good when I go out to the beach during the summer. I don't think people are going for that crazy because most people I think realize, yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's like most people are going like the top 1% in terms of like body fitness. Most people are just going like, I just want to look good. That's it. I just want to look good during the summer. And whenever I take my shirt off, I would just like look pretty proud. I'll have like a six pack. I think that's what 95% of people go for when they're trying to go for like fit. And that's like very attainable. That's like not hard to get to.
I mean, yeah,
Like
right
it
now
takes,
it is, but
it takes like a couple months of like hard work, and then like consistency is like that's why like people are like pushing more for like it's not like a diet or just like workout routines that you do once and then like you're there. Like people are pushing more for like lifestyle changes. Hammer to your head like this is what you have to do for building like good habits for you to do like the rest of your life. And these are not hard habits to get into. Like you just the whole like crawl, walk, run sort of thing. Like you don't have to like cut out a bunch of like food that you love in favor of things you don't like or like do some really hard workouts. Like you just like all you really have to do is just like cut calories back a little bit, just eat more filling food and just like, do consistent workout and eventually over time you'll get to the goal that you want to. It's not super unattainable. I think it's like super attainable. It's like not hard to get to. It's just whether or not you're willing to put in that time and that consistency over like several months to like several years, depending what your goal is. But it's really attainable in my opinion. I don't think it's that big of an issue, really.
I mean, compared to what before, no. Like I will concede that most people aren't gonna want to become like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But however, we should still be able to condemn like that one dude that appears in like the ads who's like super buff and super good looking and he promotes all these like different like these different fitness products. I don't know the name, but you might have seen the ad or something.
I don't know if you're talking about like a specific person or just like a general.
It's a person. It's like a person who promotes the certain. I don't know the name of the brand of the person, but you ever get one of those where it's like, hey, make changes in your life. Just follow these easy steps. Go on this website and then subscribe to our products thing, list or whatever.
That's like very generic. You would have to like, it's you need to like give me like a name or something to like narrow it down because there's a lot of that.
Well, regardless, like that attitude, like when that may not affect like a lot, like most people who are trying to get into fitness, it does affect enough to where like these type of people are making a lot of profit off that sort of crap, And the guy who usually like who's like the face of it is like extremely fit and extremely good looking, which is what sells that that product for a lot of guys because when you're a guy who's fat and is decent looking, whatever, you're like, fuck, I could look like that guy. All I have to do is just listen to what he says, and so there's some people who will follow that guy and take what he says as like expert advice, but in reality what he's doing is actually harming them in the long run, And I think that's pretty bad.
Yeah, but again, that like applies to everything though, not just fitness. Like that's just the problem with whole marketing in general. And just like, the whole profit motive.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any less bad though, right? Like
no, that definitely does not make it any less bad. But I don't think it's just like specifically just like related to fitness and all that. It's just more general term or more general problem really in society.
Well, regardless, anyway, I think one way for people one idea that should be promoted more, which am hoping what people pick up on is that people don't need to go to the gym to fucking get a good workout because gyms
Agreed.
are very like they have a very predatory business model where they charge you like ridiculous prices like on top of like the stuff they tell you that you're gonna pay for. Like you think when you get a gym subscription, you're just paying for like the monthly like, oh, I paid 30 a month to just go to the gym every month. But then they just toss in a bunch of other shit on top of that. And then when you talk to them, it's like, because it happened to me when I was going to the gym for the first time with Dean, was that he tried to be like, hey, you join us now, you get the first month free. And then and what happened was that it was like he was trying to sell me a car,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it felt and then what happened was that I accepted because I was like, I want to get into the gym, and then I find out that when it came for payment, they charged me like an extra $100 on top of my monthly payment. I was just like, what the fuck? Didn't tell me jack shit about this, and yeah, they just put random charges from time to time. I'm just like, what the fuck? I felt like I was being scammed, and yeah, so that was like a pretty shitty experience. Like that, which is what led me to doing like the 2-year pass from Costco the next time
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna get ripped off the second
And then
time
COVID
around.
happened. And then COVID happened, so you got ripped off anyway.
Yeah.
That sucks though.
Like the gym's not bad. It's just that I don't like the way they kind of rip you off and try to
Mm.
get you to pay more and shit. I think that's kind of fucked up. And
Yeah, they definitely do push like a lot of programs. I've never really had like hidden charges personally for me,
oh
but
really?
yeah, but I've had things where they try to push like certain programs, especially when you're first signing up for the first time, and they're like, "Hey, you want to get this trainer? Or you want to like join this class and all that?" And they like really try to convince you to like join up and like hand over your credit card so you can like join these classes. And admittedly, I've done the personal trainer thing, I've done the classes thing, and as fun as they are, they're really expensive. And then eventually you realize like I don't really need to pay for these. Like I just know enough about what workouts to do and what they do and how to do them that I could just like do these on my own. So where I just need the monthly thing, and it is definitely correct in that you don't need a gym membership to get fit. You can have by like depending on like how much room you have at home, you could like just have like weights or like even like unweighted stuff like a pull up bar or like using furniture around your house, going for
Yeah.
a walk, going for a run outside, and all that.
Yeah, when you're when you're going to the gym, you're mostly just paying for the equipment there, which is nice, but like, I think what happens is that people think that you need to go to the gym because there's like, oh, this is what everyone does, so that's what I should do too because they have all the equipment and stuff, and then they I think the hardest part is just leaving your house to go to there, especially when you're like comfortable too, or after like a long day of work, you're not really feeling like going to the gym. Or if it's the opposite where you do it before work, you're like, fuck, I don't want to wake up early and then have to go to work after that. It's like it is a thing that keeps a lot of people from going because it's hard to like to fight back against the urge to just stay home, which I think all of us has felt from going to the gym from time to time.
Yep.
Definitely from time to time.
Some more than others, but I'm calling out myself on that. But yeah, I think I hope people realize that they don't need to go to the gym because what they really just need, like you said, just like to get some cheap homemade, not homemade, but home products like the pull-up bar where you can just put it on like any door, I believe, or is it like the door hinged? I don't know, but or like get resistance bands. I hear are also very effective in helping you do some exercises as well. And they're like a lot more easy to store. Whereas with weights, if you buy like a dumbbell, like like different dumbbells, you need like a space to put it in, and then it's hard to place those sometimes. And yeah,
You're about to say something, Nick?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Oh no? Oh, could have sworn.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you just save a lot of money overall just by having those things. Like you might not have all the equipment in comparison, but at least you'll have something, and then you can just do stuff at home rather than feel like you have to leave home to do whatever.
With that being said, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, or not even devil's advocate, just like the opposing side, and that even if I were to personally for me, this may not apply to everyone. Personally for me, when even if I were to have like a lot of like I have like some gym equipment at home, I have like some weights, I have a pull-up bar. If I had like other things too, I might use it. But even then, I think I would probably, if it's like nearby and really convenient, not like the whole Dino's situation right now with their house and the gym distance. I'd probably still like pay money to go to a gym anyways, even if I had a lot of those equipment, just because I think, as GM said, like some people have that. They're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. Leaving the house is the hardest part. I think for me it's like a whole psychological thing that going to the gym actually motivates me more to get in a good workout and all that. Like once I put on my workout clothes, I'm like, all right, step outside. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. Let's do this. Let's kick some ass, and then go to the gym. And then once you're like seeing everyone else working out, working hard, you're like, hey, shit, this motivates me. And then you just end up like getting like a good workout. Like it's a whole vibe when you go in, and then you just see like people like lifting a lot of weights. You're like, shit, I need to push myself more, and then you just end up like doing more. Like don't go crazy. Don't like hurt yourself, of course. But one, just for me, I'm like once I see like everyone else just like working hard, it just makes me feel good too, and then pushes me harder to do a workout. And I just feel like I have like a better quality workout that way. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it just matters. It differs from person to person because
Definitely.
Some like there's the whole meme where every time it's January 1st, like the gym is packed, but then like as months goes by, less and less people show up. So the gym's. My only point is that the gym's just not for everybody, and if you feel like you want to get a workout, but you don't like the gym, which is perfectly fine. There's other options for you.
Absolutely.
The gym itself isn't bad. Like my problem with the gym's just like the way they scam you. But the service isn't bad. I just want people to know like there are other options if you don't like doing that. And then the whole social aspect I think is also really cool because I've seen a lot of videos where like this is one like really fat chick who was at the gym, but instead of everyone like laughing at her or like making fun of her or anything, they were like they were motivating her like collectively. And then that shit was really wholesome and also like it's really good in getting people to be motivated to keep going rather than just being like, fuck, this is a lot harder than I thought and just quitting outright,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's the social aspect that like if for certain people it helps you work harder like it does for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like during the pandemic when the gyms were closed and we couldn't do anything, so when I worked out at home I was like, think it doesn't feel the same. I don't like this. And that probably like made it harder for me to work out even more at home, even though I'd like the stuff right there, like in the same room with me. But when I was finally able to go back to the gym, I was like, oh hell yeah, this is great. Like I missed this feeling. So it definitely depends on the person. I just don't want it to be a thing like, oh, gyms are bad, or like me being on set like, no, gyms are awesome, you should go. It's definitely a person by person. It's like,
yeah,
just do whatever works best for you. Whatever gets you moving, whichever gets you get that exercise, that good sweat, whatever it takes. Because like it's definitely good. There's nothing wrong with being fit and being healthy and getting a good exercise, and it's definitely encouraged to do. Just like just try not to get like too lofty expectations. Don't try to go for like supermodel or super athlete status because that's not most people. But you could definitely look good along the way. Like it's definitely not going to hurt you from like working out or exercising or just like looking good in general. It's definitely not going to hurt.
I think another aspect is also finding something you like doing because some people think the only way to get muscles is to lift weight, like lift like dumbbells and shit. But there are other ways to do it. And then if lifting weights isn't fun for you, I feel like you shouldn't force yourself to do it because I think that just makes you not want to keep going in the long run. Obviously, this also depends on person to person because some people are like, I have to do it, so I'll do it. But some people don't like it, and so they'll just not do it overall. But if you want to gain muscle, there are other ways as well. Like all I'm saying is just don't confine yourself to just one method or one way because that can limit your options as to how you want to reach your goal.
I would say in that instance, don't do something for the first time and then decide whether or not you like it or not. Because I think if it's your first time, chances are 9 times out of 10, you're going to absolutely suck at it. And when we suck at doing things, or we're like terrible at doing things, we're like most likely like, hey, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. And then you're more inclined to not do it ever again. Like for me, for example, mine was just like back workouts. Like I hated doing back workouts. I hated doing like deadlifts and all that. Like those were like I hate, or dumbbell squats. No, I forgot what it's called. Dude, what's that? What was that workout called again? Where you put the bar
Deadlifts.
deadlifts? No,
Which one?
when you put the bar on like near the back of your neck, and then you put the weights and you do squats.
Oh, squats.
The squats. All right, all right. Just call squats. I could have sworn there's a name for it that's like more technical, but or like just doing squats. Like I hated those, especially the squats. 'Cause I would put the bar on the back of my neck, and it was just like it hurt. I think I was probably just doing. I think I was just doing it wrong. But I think over time, like, or whenever we kept doing it, like I hated doing those. Like, oh, it's back day. I don't want to do back day. But then I think as I did it more often and over time, as I became better at the workout, I was like, you know what? You know what? This ain't that bad. I'm starting to like this. So, what I'm just trying to say is like, don't cut something out immediately just because you're doing terrible at it, because chances are you're going to be terrible at it. And I think over time, like with anything, once you become better at doing something like over and over, you're like start to build more confidence at it and become a little bit more of an expert, get more expertise, and then let's end up maybe you start liking it more, or maybe not. Maybe you're an expert at it, but you still hate it. Like I think a lot of people like don't like running. I still kind of don't like running, but at the same time, I actually kind of really enjoy it too, just because I've been doing it so often. So I don't know, but just don't dismiss it outright at the beginning. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Like I think the hardest part is just mostly to the process of making a routine. But I think once you make it a routine where like it just becomes a part of your day, which I haven't reached in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But if once you make it a part of your day, it's like a lot easier to just do it every day. Whereas if you're like during like the first few weeks, it might feel a little annoying, or to get out of bed, or to like do it after your work or whatever the hell it is. But once it's just a part of your life, it's a lot easier to stick to it.
100%. I will definitely say it's a lot easier because like at that point you're not even thinking, and the only time you will think about it is when you don't go. And when you don't go, you're like, oh shit, fuck, I didn't do it. And don't let that be like an excuse to like just spiral into like depression. Just like, oh, all right, let's just make up for it tomorrow. Because then once it become a habit, and then you notice when you like skip it, especially if it's on accident or like you're just busy or something popped up, you're like, well, is what happened. It is what it is, and then you just go back. And then once you get back into that routine, it's like it's really easy. You're like you don't even have to think about it. It's like it just makes things so much simpler once you get into like a habit of things. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. But yeah. Right now, tomorrow that break is going to be tomorrow for me because I was supposed to take a break this past couple days, but something popped up, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just work out instead. So my back is sore. I'm an old man.
Yeah,
it's a good sore though, but it's like, oh man, it's sore.
I think another big part too, as well, is just to like not feel bad if you just like do miss a day for whatever reason. Like even if it's just like if you don't want to, it's important not to be like, fuck, I'm like feeling, what am I doing? Like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, man. What's wrong with me? If you beat up yourself over it, you're just making it harder for yourself to want to do it in the future. I think if you do miss a day, maybe you just feel like eating ice cream and what on the couch while watching CSI or some shit. Just be like, you know what, I missed a day. It's okay. I'll just get back on it the next day or something.
Absolutely, because life happens.
It.
Like it happens to all of us. Like just everything in life is going to pop up that you're just not going to expect, and it's just going to happen. And you just need to like once you understand it, like all right, it is what it is. Just as long as you like get back to the groove when you can. Yeah. That's all that really matters. Just having like a healthy mindset will bring you like a long way, and then having like a healthy body also helps with that healthy mindset as well, potentially. So I think I say they go hand in hand, and then once you get everything like settled out, it's like, you know what, life may not be perfect depending on like your circumstances, but it's definitely a little step forward. It's a little bit better in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's a long talk right there. I didn't expect to go on that tangent right there.
Mà mấy đứa bà qua
Yes, indeed, I agree. I agree. Yeah. How you boys feeling?
We're close.
We are close indeed.
Yeah, we have like 5 minutes left.
That's crazy. I didn't expect to go on that long tangent about working out. What was that first? How did we even get to this topic anyway?
No clue.
I don't know. How do we ever talk about anything?
I remember start off with like buff bodybuilders, but then
Oh, you know what? I'll fill up the last few minutes, okay? Speaking of working out and stuff, you know what? I've been more into like in the last couple months.
Yeah.
Girls with muscles and abs, like that shit's like a lot more attractive to me
You're
now.
a bit late.
Yes, exact, dude.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Before I was like indifferent. I was just like whatever. It's just I sleep, but now I'm like, damn, that's kind of hot now. You know?
What do you think about girls with short hair right now?
No, I'm still long hair. Okay.
All right,
I'm
well,
on that team.
all right, Dean, we'll get them one day.
We'll
Join us. He'll join us.
The taste is almost there, Paul.
The taste is almost there. Once you realize that a lot of like buff and like muscular and fit girls tend to have like short hair a lot of the times, or at least like in like art, you're like, it's gonna grow on you. It's gonna get you.
Nah, that's why
It's gonna get you.
That's why I like Maki from Fire Force, man. She got that long hair and she got the abs and muscles. Okay, like
She does.
That
Especially when he puts up. Look, there's two things I like: short girls with short hair, or when they tie their hair up in a ponytail, and then it's just perfect. Perfect.
it's a really big shame that show. Like I just do not enjoy that show because otherwise I would be like Maki all day. Let's go, but I can't say that because I don't watch the show because I find it terribly boring. I tried watching it last weekend at work, but I was just like, I can't pay attention to this. I keep going on my phone because it's just so boring. I don't know.
We only went a couple episodes until we stopped. The only one I remember is like Maki, and I don't remember because we probably just near the beginning. He didn't get a whole lot of scenes.
This is other girl too. For those you guys who haven't watched like any episodes of Fire Force, this is another girl who would literally like her outfit is like she wears like a firefighter coat and then she wears like a bikini like that's like right there like in the open. But that didn't make me feel things like Maki did. I was just like I don't care for you, like explicitly fan service only girl. I want Maki muscle and abs. That's what I want.
She was like fully clothed too.
Yeah, and she was fully clothed. I was
fully clothed, but that's still awakening something in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't like the show enough to keep watching, which sucks.
But yeah, buff girls. It's definitely becoming popular. I don't know if that's just like, oh, this is my timeline.
That's awesome.
It's just adding to my taste. Or just like confirming like, yeah, this is what I like. Or it's an actual trend that people are into now.
I think that's awesome. Like if that's like a thing people like, then we're proud of them. Again, we need more athletic girls in the world. That's always good.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's
no, I still sleep on short hair. Okay, like
no, not the short hair thing, not the short hair thing. When we're having our debate about the whole culture or the whole picture of like buff guys and like the whole I'm brain farting hard on what the word was. Anyway, just like the ideal. What's the average guy's take on like an ideal body type for a guy? I still think it's like a positive thing. Or when I was talking about that trend of like more people nowadays are more accepting about like working out and getting fit and just like being the best version that you can possibly be when it comes to like your physical looks, when it comes to like your fitness, and that applies to girls too. And I think that's awesome. That's why I'm thinking like it's becoming more accepting when oh no, we were talking about the pull-ups and the chin-ups. There we go. That's what it was. The whole gatekeeping thing. Like I don't think it's as prominent as it was before. I think more people are more like accepting and like wanting people to enter. And same with the buff girls too. I'll always say hello and yes, hello nurse or hello buff lady. I'll take either. I'll take a buff nurse. Oh my god. Hell yeah.
Aren't there
Buff
nurses?
nurse. There's probably a buff nurse. There's probably like a really buff nurse. And you know what? That's perfect. I'd marry it. Yo, if there's any look, listeners, audience, is there any buff nurses or any nurses or just like buff girls in general in the audience? Yo, hit me up. Hit me up. I ain't picky. I'll take-
This one lady named Water Melona once it says that she is a buff girl. So hey, hit her up.
Oh
She's on
hell
Twitter.
yeah, hell yeah! I'll do it.
But yeah, I think more varieties is always good. I can never complain about that. In a world where there's only buff girls or there's only like non-buff girls, I think that's a little boring. Just having a nice mix is always nice.
Indeed.
Spice.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a hipster or anything, but I just want to say like I've been pretty into like girls with short hair or muscular girls for a while, for like at least since middle school. And every time I told people that, people thought I was crazy, and now it's becoming a trend. It's becoming.
Were you really into that? Were you really into that weightlifting anime?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know the name.
How many kilos can you lift?
Yeah,
Hell yeah, that one's
anime
with
with
that
girls
show?
going, hell yeah, that was great. Hell yeah, that was an amazing anime. I loved it.
I learned so much about weightlifting.
Indeed. Best girl in that show. Actually, there's like multiple best girls.
The only thing I know from that show, I mean, besides the two main girls, I think there's one that's like a darker skinned girl, and then there's another like more girly girl, I think.
There's two characters with dark skin.
And
that show.
Boxer.
Oh well, and then there's also I know the one other thing I know about the show is that this is dude who like looks like a generic anime character, but then he takes off his jacket and he's like Hulk Hogan ripped.
He's not even taking off the jacket; he just rips every time he does. Like side chesto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's like the one thing you know about that show is that the
tiny ass head. It's like
Yeah.
Hassan in anime form if we're Japanese.
Yeah, I didn't get a understanding how big Hassan was until I saw him. This is one Asian girl.
I know
who
what you're
came
talking
over.
about.
Yeah, and then he towered over her like he was like a titan from AOT, you know?
I mean, she was like what 5'1"
Yeah,
or something.
5'1", 5'2", but then the height
Yeah,
difference was fucking
To be
massive.
fair, she was kind of a dwarf.
Yeah, but still, like it was only made more so compared to Hassan, who looked like a colossus in comparison.
Indeed, 100%. But yeah, that was a really good anime. Best girl, again, there's like multiple best. They're all best girl. All the girls in that show, best girl. But I still really like the one of the main two, the dark hair, and she was like, got really sexually turned on by like working out, and I was like, that's kind of hot. I kind of like that.
Sorry, boys. I had to go for the teacher.
Oh, teacher, yeah. Teacher's great. Loved her. I think she was like talking about. She was like very prominent during like the hiking episode. I think she was talking about like this is how you're supposed to move your legs when you're going up a hill, just like lifting up your legs or somewhere. I forgot what it was, but I tested out a couple days later at the local hill. You know what? Kind of helps. Kind of helps indeed. Or maybe just a placebo. But you know what? I felt
You, friend.
I felt like I had more energy. It was a good show though. I really enjoyed it.
I'm still reading the manga.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a manga guy, except on very rare occasions. But yeah.
When I discovered manga, I was more into it, but then as time went on, I just couldn't keep myself to read everything I started reading. You know, eventually, like every time they release new series, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check this out. And then there's like new chapters updated all the time. I'm like, fuck, it's too much. I can't read this much. I mean, there's pictures, which makes it easier, but like, there's just too much stuff, so I had to drop a lot of stuff for me to. Well, I think I just straight up don't even read that much manga anymore, except for like one series now, because it's just like just having too many series to read is just overwhelmed me.
I had the opposite problem in that the few manga I did read would be like one of those manga that would update once a month.
Yeah, those are something else, man.
And that's the thing. That's the other thing. Sometimes they only update once a month, and then you read the chapter like, oh shit, what happened last chapter again? It was a month ago.
Yeah, I had to go back and like refresh your memory.
Yeah, that shit
Yep.
sucks. That made me drop a lot of series too.
Especially
Yeah.
if it starts like a day, like a weekly thing, and then like out of nowhere, like, I haven't seen this in like a while. Like, yeah, they haven't uploaded in a while. Then it's like a month, and then 2 months, and then it just never gets fucking uploaded. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, where's the rest of the chapters?
Or it's a series that you jump into the middle of when it's like, about like 50 or so chapters in, and then you start binge reading at the beginning, and then once you get to the end, you're like, oh, now I have to wait. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I think that's what I did for the Hajime no Ippo series,
Mm-hmm.
where I watched the anime first, and then I was like, oh, the manga's still going. All right, I'll catch up there. So I read the manga from like chapter 1, and it had like 1,000 chapters already.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I caught
Damn,
up, I was like,
1,000.
yeah.
It's a
By the
lot of
time I
reading.
caught up, I was like, oh fuck, like I'm all caught up. I have nothing now. Like, to read.
Yeah,
Gotta wait
no.
for like the weekly things.
I used to read a series called Batum because I liked the anime, so I was like, you know what, I want to see where this story goes because I'm pretty sure I'm never getting a season 2, and so I started reading, and then I caught up, and then I realized that manga isn't like a weekly thing sometimes, and then it was like every 6 months you get one chapter, and I opened a chapter, I'm just like, I don't remember what happened. It's been 6 months, and then I try to remember, but eventually I was just like, yeah, this is bullshit. I just dropped it because even though I really like the story, I was just like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. This is hurting me.
The story is pretty wild.
I enjoyed the story, but like updating it once every like 6 months was too wait like it was beyond way too much for me to care about it anymore.
That was just like Berserk, where it just goes on hiatus for like.
Well, I mean, we know now that there's a reason why for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so sad. I think the last chapter will be, or the next one they're gonna upload. The chapter is the last one.
Wait, what? How does that work? Is it like stuff? Is it like a different writer, or is he just referencing what
So
like the notes of the original guy?
so the manga has like they have assistants and pretty much assistants.
They know how the story was gonna play out.
Yeah, but I think they're just
Oh,
gonna end it in a cliffhanger and then done.
what the fuck? Well,
Yeah,
why would you do that?
that's just how it is. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I feel like cliffhanger is like the worst endings. Like I'd
it
rather
is
have
the
a
worst
bad
ending.
ending. I'd rather have a bad ending than a cliffhanger. Cause just like I don't know.
It's
At
like
least you get closure. You know.
yeah,
Yep,
because
yep.
now it's like left to your imagination. That like, oh, what happens next is really up to you. Just like the the quintuplets thing.
Yeah.
I,
Or example that.
I mean,
Sorry,
for
go
that,
ahead.
there actually was like an actual ending though to that one,
No, it could be
or at least a girl.
anybody. Anybody could have won, even the
No,
dad.
no, no. Someone actually got picked though. Not the girl I wanted, but someone
Alright.
got picked.
You know, we'll leave it to you guys to read or watch the series if it
Yeah.
comes to their season.
Yeah.
But yeah, that series also kind of disappointed with the ending, but at least we got an ending.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Um.
Me and Jim voted for the dad to win. All right.
If you don't know why we keep talking about the dad when it comes to quintuplets, just read the manga. You'll get the reference maybe
No,
because
it's not really that deep. The dad character is barely there. It's just there for them.
it's still
You
a
just picked it
potential
because you thought it
spoiler.
was.
Okay.
Is it though? I
There's
think you
still
just picked it because you thought it
potential,
was
Tom.
funny.
There's still
I think you
potential.
just picked it because
It's
it's
still
funny.
no the joke relies on a spoiler. Okay, we can't talk about it.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. I don't know what that
In
spoiler
case
is,
in
even though I
case
read it.
in case even if the one person who watches us just hasn't watched it but or read it and is planning to, just in case we can't spoil it. Okay.
Yep.
All right, all
Don't
right,
spoil it.
alrighty.
Damn, I forgot that one manga I read that had like 5, like for each heroine has an ending. And there were like
Was
5
it We Never
endings.
Learn?
Yeah, we never learned that one. Wasn't there an anime for that one, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
was.
You know, remember First Love Zombie, or I think the name was Hatsukoi Zombie or some
Yeah,
shit.
First Love Zombie.
That manga was something else. It was like one of those manga was like, shit, we're successful. We need to keep pumping out chapters so we can make more money off of it. And then out of nowhere, it was like, shit, we need to end it soon. So they rushed the ending like out of nowhere. It was so weird. It was just,
Yeah, it was weird.
you're just there reading it and you're like, man, this needs to fucking end soon. Holy shit, I don't care how it happens. Like they're just milking this manga, and out of nowhere they're like, you regretting your wish, bitch. It just abruptly ends. You're just like, what the fuck? So weird. Yeah, that was quite an experience.
Yeah. All right, I think we're good here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there.
I'm just watching a video on like a peaceful river sounds and gentle river. I'm just like watching it. Like I'm just mesmerized by this video. I was like, oh, it's so pretty.
If
But
you want
yeah.
to see Paul watching two cat videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
It's not a cat video. It's literally a river.
The Cat on the River. Watch
It's so peaceful though.
us on YouTube at YouTube in the description below, linked somewhere. If you're watching us on YouTube and won't see us live, we're live every Wednesday, 6:30 PDT, soon to be PST once it hits daylight savings, in sometime in October. Yeah, that'll happen then. But yeah, until then, yep, all the links you need in the description below. And as always, leave a comment in the podcast and on the podcast episodes. If you're watching us on YouTube as well, that's always fun to read. Or if you're live, feel free to comment in the Twitch chat. That's always fun to read as well, and we can interact with you then, and that's pretty pop, right? So,
Yeah.
we actually did get a comment last week. It's from Sir Jedediah. So hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, since you can't watch us live anymore, drop a comment, man. That's always fun. Okay. And yeah, as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful time. And yeah, peace.
Later.